boy lived down on West 7th Street. And we were going to church. We were going to Brother Pierce's church. And I sat down on my mother's lap, and she was telling me, she said, I think I asked her, Mom, they said you have to love God more than I love you. She says, that's right. You have to love God more than you love me and more than I love you. I said, but how can it be? She says, I don't know, but I know we have to do it. See, even she didn't know. She couldn't understand how she could love anything more than she loved her precious little boy. And her precious little boy couldn't, and he was so precious. He couldn't understand how you could love God more than you love your mother. But we have to learn to love Him more and be willing to sacrifice our family and our relationship with them for our relationship with Him. But I guarantee you, when you sacrifice your family and your relationship with them for your relationship with Him, He will make your relationship with them so much better. Amen. No matter how far your children or your grandchildren wants to alienate themselves from you, when you have a relationship with Jesus, He'll bring them back, Nancy. He'll bring them back. Amen. I've been praying for Ashley. I've been praying for her. God's got His hand in her life. And she may not realize it. She may be running as fast and as far away as she possibly can. But God has His hand in her life, and He's going to bring her to the place He wants her to be. Don't give up praying on it for her. You pray for her. I was thinking about her on the way to church this morning. Amen. I only met her one time. But man, my heart, I just knew there was something about her that God had His hand in her life. But pray. Man, I got children and grandchildren that just, they want to go their own way. Never hear from them, never call you unless they want something. Unless they need something. But you know what? That doesn't cease my prayers from attacking them. My prayers is as the good shepherd's goodness and mercy. Wow. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. You ever see a sheepdog? When the sheep start to stray, he goes over there and starts snapping at their feet and drives them back into the fold. Wow. Back into the herd. That's goodness and mercy. Goodness and mercy is the sheepdog of God's kingdom. They nip at your feet. Sometimes it hurts, but it will put you back in a position in the place where you're supposed to be. So my prayers is for goodness and mercy to follow my children and my grandchildren and continue to bring them and to nip at their feet to bring them back into a place where they need to be. They don't necessarily have to be in my house. They just have to be in His house. Amen? See, Gail, we want them in our house. We want them so close that we can reach over and touch them at any given time. But God says, don't worry about that. Let me touch them. Let me take care of them. Amen? No matter even if they go to Florida, He'll still touch them. Amen. So He says, if any man come after me, and hate not his father, and his mother, and his wife, and his children, and his brethren, and his sisters, yea, and his own life also. Man, it's bad enough I got to hate my mom and my daddy and my children and my wife. I got to hate me too? You understand, He's not talking about hate. He's just talking about don't put yourself first. Right. Don't put your family first. Right. Amen? Now, don't take me wrong. I believe your family is your first ministry. Hear me? I believe your family is your first ministry. That's why we pray so intensely for them. That's why we intensify our prayers for their salvation. That's why we show them love. That's why whenever they call me, I'm there. I'm going to tell you something. I could go 6 months without hearing from my son, but when he calls me, I'm there. Mm-hmm. Dad, I'm broke down on Broadview Avenue. We up here in Broadview Heights. Can you come and help me out? Yeah, I'll be right there. Amen?
I know.
I mean, it's happened. My granddaughter, she don't call me often, but when she knows that she needs me, all she has to do is call. Amen.
Amen.
So they're my first ministry. But I got news for you. If any of you call me, I do the same thing. You don't know how many times people that I haven't seen in years call me, could you come to the hospital and pray for so-and-so? Yeah. I'm driving there thinking, man, it'd be nice if they come to church once in a while. But that doesn't stop me from going and praying for them, BB. Amen. They're still my brothers. They're still my sisters. They're still my the loved ones. Amen. So yes, my ministry, my family is my first ministry, but my family is not above Christ. I have a ministry because of Him. I have a family because of Him. I have loved ones because of Him. And so therefore my relationship with Him is more important than my family, but also it must be more important than me. I have to sacrifice my desires, my ambitions, my motives, my feelings. Hello? My feelings for His cause. I may not want to go and minister at a particular place. I may not want to go downtown and pass out tracts. I may not want to go door to door and minister. I may not want to get up on Sunday mornings. Man, I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, I sure wish I didn't have to get up today. Amen. And that's not a regular thing, but it is frequent. There's plenty of times I get up, baby. You know, now that I started to say now that I don't work at a regular job, but it seems like I've been working more than I did when I had a job. But I work in the evening. So therefore I set up late and I sleep late. Now some of you don't know that, but most of you know, don't call me before noon.
You don't answer the phone.
No, I won't.
You have to leave a message.
But I sleep late because I don't sleep well at night.
Yeah.
Amen? And on Sunday mornings, I have to get up. And I've had people tell me, wow, I hate to get up early. You can't get up early for Jesus one day a week.
That's right.
One day a week. Amen. You can't sacrifice one day a week to come to church. We should be sacrificing 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Our life should be that of sacrifice. We should dedicate our entire being to Christ. Because see, He says the one thing after all of this, after He said, if you hate not your father, your mother, your children, your wife, your children, your brethren, and your sisters, and your own life, He said, if you don't, you can't be my disciple. You can't be my disciple. Do you know what the word disciple means?
Follower. Follower.
What does the word itself mean? Disciple. Discipline.
Discipline, yeah.
Disciplined ones. Disciples are disciplined ones. And many of us are so undisciplined. Are you listening to me? And I'm guilty at times. We're undisciplined in our prayer life. We're undisciplined in our study life. We're undisciplined in our obedience to Him. I'm going to tell you something. We've been given an opportunity to be affiliated with it's called Saturate USA. They have a buy program called Saturate Cleveland. They give you tracts. They give you a DVD of the Jesus movie, which is a movie that's been shown throughout India and brought many to Christ, showed around the world. And we need to make flyers, and they give us a little packet, door hangers, that we put them all in there and hang them on people's doors. Now, we want to do this area here, but unfortunately this area is